changes is that your hymns are your late game card rather than your turn 2 play. But like hymn is still good, I think. I just misplayed it.
Well, congratulations and condolences, man.
Thank you, appreciate it.
See you at Providence and at Indy.
Yep.
All right, in the meantime, going to the semifinals here at the Star City Games Open here in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm Gavin Verhey. I'm here with Jacob Van Lunen. Only 2 more rounds left to be played, and this one is between Joe Bernal and Samuel Swisher. On your left, Joe Bernal, I believe he's playing black-white. That's correct? Yep, black.
That is correct.
The black-white Dark Confidant, Stoneforge Mystic deck. At the same time, I think Caleb Durward has used to great success. He also made top 8 of this tournament, exited in the quarterfinals. On your right, Samuel Swisher playing the deck that's really been picking up and being one of the top decks in the format. It's Team America right now.
Yep. And Sam beat the black-white deck in the top 8.
Yes.
In the quarterfinals. So here he is fighting it again.
And I mean, do you feel like Samuel's advantage, or do you feel like it's just a pretty close matchup? And
I feel like it's really close.
Yeah.
Like both players are like hemming each other. There's a lot of there's a flurry of disruption in the beginning of the game, where either player can really just end up on like in a really bad spot. Like if they lose the wrong cards to him, like neither player has counter magic, so all of the disruption gets through. So these players are both just going to be like firing like discard spells at each other, and at the end, like they're both gonna have very little. And I think like Sam will be able to reset with cards like Jason the Mind Sculptor, while Joe will be able to reset with cards like Stoneforge Mystic, and then both of them have Confidants, which is the other reset button. So I mean, it seems pretty even to me.
Yep, I think it's pretty even. I think being on the play is pretty important. I think having Cruel Mox for Joe Bernal will be pretty important.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm sorry. Earlier I misspoke. I said neither player has counterspells. Sam does have counterspells. I meant that Joe does not have counterspells.
Yeah, Sam has access to Mental Misstep and Force of Will. So Sam Swisher won the dice roll, and leading off with, we're going to see Thoughtseize? No, Ponder.
Ponder. Ooh, Ponder. That's like not a card you see often in this deck.
No, that's why I was surprised to see it come down. Interesting. So it just gives him a little more consistency. Play it instead of Stifle for it, I guess. And I think we've seen a couple decks that have Ponder, but it's certainly not the norm.
Yeah, actually, I saw Sam playing games in a hotel lobby last night at 2 a.m., so he's practiced with this deck. He's putting the work in.
Joe Bernal just instantly wasteland Sam's land.
Yep.
Just happy to trade lands up there.
Let's see what Sam has to offer this turn.
Tropical
Right, Sam's going to play Trop and pass the turn.
Joe draws a land. Plays Scribbleland, passes. Brainstorm from Sam Swisher.
See what he gets on his turn. Is that an Eternal Witness?
That's what it looked like. This is not your average Team America deck.
This is certainly not your average Team America deck.
Well, Eternal Witnesses seem pretty sweet.
They do seem really, really sweet.
Like you can rebuy your Wastelands, you can rebuy your Dark Confidants, you can rebuy your Hymn to Turox.
Yeah, that actually is like very, very strong in this type of matchup.
There's a Polluted Delta from Sam Swisher. Passes back to Joe. Still didn't cast a spell yet, but if Joe's about to hit 2 mana, I expect we'll see a spell right here. Question is which one? Oh, he just passes. Interesting.
Yep.
Now we know Joe has a 2-drop in his hand. It's possible Joe knows something we don't. Maybe Sam has Spell Snare in his deck. He doesn't want to run into it. It's unclear.
Yeah, Joe has seen the deck list, so.
Yep, deck lists have been shipped to both players, so they know everything that's going on. You know what to play around. There's a hymn right there. Good old wolf hymn.
That is my favorite hymn art.
7 cards for Joe Bernal, about to be 5. Leaving a Tropical Island untapped. Let's see. Alright, so looks like he lost Bitter Blossom Marsh Flats.
Yep.
And he passes it back, sitting on Spell Pierce.
Now, Joe's probably going to go for a Confidant here.
I'm surprised he didn't play anything last turn.
Yeah. I'm also surprised they're not playing it.
It must just be sitting on a. I mean, Sam must have spell snare in his deck, but even then, you gotta run your stuff into it eventually, right?
Yeah, you just have to pound into that card because it's a 1 casting cost card. It's not like
Yeah.
And it's not like it's like unless you pay 2 or something
Right.
where you can just like overcome it.
He's gonna shortcut, play crack both lands.
So let's see. He's
I
gonna
mean, I
go
guess
up
maybe
Plains
if he had
and
Stone,
Swamp.
if he had Stoneforge Mystic, maybe he didn't want to go Mystic, get his equipment, and have it discarded by him. That's a possible line of play too. Thoughtseize. See what he does here.
He's gonna go ahead and grab a scrub land and a swamp here.
Okay. And
He's gonna. I'm surprised he's not tapping out for Mirror Crusader here. I feel like if you resolve that,
all right, well, there's Stoneforge Mystic,
just about done.
and so I'm gonna. Yep. He
Oh, that's the real
Skull.
the real trump card here in the matchup is Mirror Crusader.
Yeah, Mirror Crusader and that Batter Skull too.
Yeah. So Sam fetches up that Batter Skull, and that's going to be a huge problem for, or rather, Joe fetches up the Batter Skull, and that's going to be a huge problem for Sam here. All right, let's see what Sam finds. All right, Sam draws a Polluted Delta. He has a Wasteland in hand. He's probably going to want to shoot down one of those scrublands. He knows his opponent has Mirror Crusader, and he needs to do his best to deal with that. All right, now his opponent floated a mana. Sam will probably just go into his next step, and Sam fires off another hymn. A massive advantage here. Vindicate and a Mirror Crusader were hit by the hymn. Now Joe is going to get that Batter Skull, and that's certainly going to be a problem for Sam in this game. Joe's going to pass the turn over to Sam, and on Sam's end step, Joe's going to drop a pseudo Baneslayer into play. Now Joe's about to get himmed down to nothing besides that Batter Skull, though, so we're going to have to see if Sam's deck can muster up any sort of answer to this Batter Skull. So if we can, then he's got to be in a commanding position this game. All right, so Joe certainly has an on-board advantage, but Sam has an additional land in play, and he has 2 cards in hand to Joe's 0 cards in hand. So, 2 hymns cause a great deal of card advantage, but they break even with the Stoneforge, and the Stoneforge's effect is very powerful, especially in a match like this. Batter Skull is just extraordinarily hard to answer for Joe in this spot, or for Sam in this spot. All right, let's see what Joe drew. Joe's going to bash with the Batter Skull and the Stoneforge Mystic. It puts Sam down to 13. And let's see what he has for second main phase. Bitter Blossom. Now Sam's going to Spell Pierce that. And Sam gets another draw step. Let's see if he finds an answer for this Batter Skull here. What did he draw? What did he draw? It's a Tombstalker. All right. Well, Tombstalker is certainly big enough to fight with this Batter Skull. And you have to remove a bunch of cards. So he's just going to remove all these lands. And he's going to pass the turn back over to Joe. Alright, so Joe just passed the turn back, and let's see what Sam has here. Sam has nothing, he passed the turn back. Let's see what Joe finds. Joe has a hymn and a Cabal Therapy in hand. He's going to hymn. Let's see what Sam does. Sam discards a Mental Misstep. Sam draws a fetch land and passes the turn back to Joe. Joe draws a Mirror Breaker. Joe drew a Mirror Crusader, and it's gonna be really powerful in this spot. Sam's in a really, really, really bad spot now because of that. So Sam drew and played a Tombstalker to trump the Batterskull.
Okay.
But Joe just drew a Mirror Crusader off the top and was able to resolve it. So Mirror Crusader, once Joe picks up 2 more lands, will be suited up with that Batterskull and will be very, very fast clock here.
Be extremely lethal.
Yeah.
And plus the Mirror Crusader on its own is just a problem. Okay, another Tombstalker for Sam Swisher.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if those Tombstalkers are even enough. Like, yes, they're 5/5 flyers, but
Well, let's see. So I put Joe on a 2-turn clock, but the Batterskull, well, he really needs lands because he doesn't really want to suicide the Batterskull. He can't really attack with it this turn. Next turn, if only 1 Tombstalker comes in, he can't attack with it the turn after. His hand is Thoughtseize Therapy. Does he know the last card in Sam Swisher's hand? I just stepped back into the booth. Okay.
No. I believe the last card in Sam's hand is just a land, though.
Okay. So, I mean, this is an interesting play. So Joe has 4/4 Batterskull, Stoneforge Mystic, Mirror Crusader. Now, I think he just attacks with the Crusader.
Puts Sam down to 9.
And he probably plays Therapy ahead of time because, and just get the last card out of Sam Swisher's hand because you can't really afford to lose 2 life here. The 1 life, the difference between 15 and 16 right now is enormous.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is Sam Swisher wants to attack for 5, and then would be able to attack for 10, but that only brings Joe Bernal down to 1, so he can't afford to Thoughtseize here. So I expect...
Yeah, and even if he attacks the Batterskull and gains the 4 life, it actually only brings him up to 20, so he's still in a multiple of 5 range of the same life he's in now, so that life link will not have any sort of positive effect here.
Right, so what seems likely is on Sam Swisher's turn, he'll attack with 1 Tombstalker, leave 1 back to block, take 4 more, drop to 5 life.
Now Joe is winning the onboard race because Joe has the Stoneforge, which will poke in for the last point.
Right.
When he...
But clearly, Sam's going to have a couple draw steps, see what he can find, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this game is far from over.
I mean, the Batterskull is the biggest issue right now. Now, a Jace would be really good for Samuel Swisher here.
Yeah, Jace off the top would probably seal this game up. Well, maybe not seal it up, but it would certainly help a lot.
Yeah. I mean, if you, let's say Sam draws a Jace. What do you bounce?
Batterskull first. Or no, I guess you can't because he just has Stoneforge. You just bounce Mirror Crusader. You just chain bounce Mirror Crusader and just keep attacking with 1 Tombstalker.
Yeah, I think that's the right play. But obviously, Sam would have to draw Jace to make that happen. But.
Yeah. All right, so Joe charges in with
he's sending with everybody.
Ooh,
I'm really surprised by this play.
Yeah,
because this opens things up differently. Now, if Sam Swisher blocks the Batterskull, then that's out of the way. He takes 5, drops to 8. He can sweep with both Tombstalkers this turn and on the next turn, and he's got a faster clock.
Yeah, it's true.
And Joe only goes up to 20, so it's still a 2-turn window. He doesn't play the Cabal Therapy. Interesting. Well, let's see what Sam Swisher does. He serves with both Tombstalkers. Yeah,
nice. I mean, that's a lot of people might play scared there and be like, why did he do that? He must have something. But, I mean,
it's just lethal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Sam Swisher drew go for the throw, which would have been really good for him the other way.
Yeah.
But I feel like Joe Bernal was in good position, but that attack did not work out well for him. I feel like
that attack was not good at all.
You just serve with Mirror Crusader and force him to leave Tombstalker back. There's Cabal Therapy. Do you want to kill that Mystic in response? I wonder what he named.
Yeah, he did not name Go for the Throat, so
he's safe. Yeah, I don't see any. He named Jace the Mind Sculptor, which seems like it would have been.
Yeah.
No, it would have been in play last turn if he had drawn it for sure, right?
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. So there's no chance he would have had that.
I don't know. like if there was a Jace, it would have been in play and bounced at Mirror Crusader.
Yeah, there's no chance it would not have.
So I don't feel. I mean, he definitely didn't need to respond with the go for the throat there. And now, if he wants to flash back that Cabal therapy, he'll lose a Stoneforge Mystic anyway, do exactly what go for the throat would do. So it doesn't work out. So Joe Bernal's in a pretty tight spot right now. He wants to be able to put that Batter Skull into play, but it'll get go for the throated.
Yep.
So maybe
he knows that.
Maybe. Oh yeah. He thinks about it. He's like, nope, I messed this one up.
Yeah.
Nah.
And Sam got it. I like Sam's play there. He's very deliberate. Like, he was not going to take any of the shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, if Sam doesn't draw that go for the throat and just draws like a land or whatever, and Joe makes the other attack, then Joe is ahead. But the go for the throat means that Sam probably wins either way. Still, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
A very close game.
we're
about to give away 6 months of premium?
That's half a year, almost as much as you get, about half as much exactly as you get if you win in the last round in the finals. So you have the opportunity to win 6 months now, 12 months in the finals. Premium, all kinds of great content by great writers, great videos available now. You can go watch some of the best players play. And just like you're learning right now from watching these players play, think about how much you learn if you watch like Brad Nelson play Magic, right? Brian Kibler play Magic. You can learn an incredible amount. So the question for this, so first of all, if you're on Twitter, the way you do this is you just put in the hashtag SCG Premium tag, and you answer the question that we ask. We'll choose one person who answered it correctly, and that person will receive 6 months of free premium. We'll let you know after the match is over. Here's the question. Just a couple minutes ago, we had AJ Soccer in the booth. He was talking about his last round match against the mono blue control deck in the quarterfinals. He said that one card out of his opponent's sideboard was very important. He feels is very good in this format.
Yeah.
Which card was that?
He said it's the best answer to him in the format. So, what is this card we're talking about?
Let us know. Put in hashtag SCG Premium. It is a card I expect to pick up in popularity after this weekend.
I have 20 of that card, I think. So I'm set for that card.
Well, bring him with you. Bring him with you to Indy. You might need him.
All my friends and I all played Counter Rebels.
There you go.
So
there's another hint for you.
That was kind of a little bit of a giveaway.
It's okay. This is a giveaway.
This is a giveaway, so it's all right. That's just a clue. Everybody loves clues.
Yeah, even blue. All right. Yeah. So Sam Swisher picks up the first game. Pretty tight game there. It seemed to be like very 50-50-ish. Had double Tombstalker there at the end to take it down. After sideboarding, who do you think has the advantage here? I'm pulling up the deck lists real quickly.
Let's take a look. And Joe probably has extra copies of Mirror Crusader, which has to be bad for Sam.
Yeah, those Mirror Crusaders are just
They're
insane.
really, really good here.
All right, Sam Swisher and Joe Bernal. So, okay, out of Joe Bernal's sideboard, Sword of Feast and Famine is probably pretty good. Pro Black, Pro Green. Tormod Script, probably not. Phyrexian Revoker, probably not.
I don't think so, no.
Tide Hollow Sculler seems like a pretty reasonable card in this matchup.
Yes. It can't be go for the throat either.
Right, which is pretty awesome. You steal a card out of their hand.
Steal a card out of their hand, you have like something to target your equipment with, and it can't be go for the throat.
Yeah, the premier removal spell for that deck is go for the throat. You can't use it in that situation. Third Mirror Crusader definitely coming in. Shriekmaw? Probably not.
No, I mean he's got like Confidant, Tombstalker, and Goyf, so it really only hits the Goyf. So like it's like siding in a removal spell for like one specific card.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, unless that card is going to be like the backbreaking thing in the matchup, which is not. Like Joe's deck is fine against the Goyf. He doesn't have equipment, but he can just power right through it.
Extirpate and Surgical Extraction not coming in.
No, Sword of Feast and Famine definitely coming in. Swords of Plowshare is probably coming in.
Swords of Plowshare is probably, and then Elspeth I think might be reasonable in this matchup too.
Oh, definitely. Elspeth is like great anti-Jace card.
Like Elspeth plus Mirror Crusader just ends the game. You take 10. Like. Yeah. Pretty good stuff. So it looks like Joe Bernal's deck gets a little better. Let's see what Sam Swisher gets out of his sideboard. 2 Relic of Progenitus, not doing a lot here. 3 Phyrexian Revoker. Do you like bringing the Revoker here as an answer to the equipments?
Yes, definitely. I think the Revoker is going to be really good. I think his Deeds are going to be really good. Also, his Deeds are probably what set him apart from most other Team America decks.
3 Princess Deed in the sideboard are going to be big.
This is something really interesting. Now, Team America, normally Deed isn't something you're normally like seeing in their 75. As of late, people have had like a few in their board. But, here we have AJ was playing Deed's main, and Sam in the top 4 also has Deed in his deck. So, This may be some new technology. So if you're planning on playing Team America at Grand Prix Providence next weekend, or maybe coming to the Invitational and playing Team America, Pernicious Deed is definitely a card you should test, and probably a card you should include in your 75.
Yeah, I think Pernicious Deed is awesome, and 3 in the sideboard, really good for Samuel Swisher here. Ghastly Demise, I don't think so. I don't think there's enough white creatures or enough non-black creatures to make it worthwhile. Croson Grip, do you think you bring Croson Grip, or do you think you don't need the extra ammo?
I don't know if you're bringing Crossing Grip. I guess you kind of have to.
It's
not like when I watched before, I wasn't sure if you did, and I mean AJ brought it in, and after thinking about it a little more, like Batterskull is really really bad for you. It's badder for you.
Smother definitely comes in.
Yeah,
Smother's awesome.
Smother's coming in.
And Submerge does not. So, all right, turn 1 Thoughtseize from Joe Bernal. Take a peek at Sam Swisher's hand.
And does Sam have a mental misstep? No, he's not.
Ponder, Force of Will, Wasteland, Underground Sea, Daze, Him. Wow.
Yeah.
Those ponders really make it hard to know what's coming out of Sam Swisher's deck. Because you play it, those ponders could be anything.
Literally anything.
There might be boats involved. But like... You can, but like, you don't know what angle attack is going on. Like, is he going to have a Dark Confidant? Is he going to be like Tombstalkering you? Is he going to play like a slower game? Those ponders make it really mysterious.
Yeah, and like one of the strengths of a deck that's playing a lot of like targeted discard is that you get to see your opponent's hand, and as a result, you get to play around specific spells, things like that. But when your opponent's playing a lot of cards like Ponder and Brainstorm and things like that, it makes it a lot harder to gain that advantage.
Especially,
and that's something that Sam can use to his advantage. Joe will often think that he doesn't have specific spells because he's played a discard spell, and cards like Ponder and Brainstorm can quickly get him to the answers he needs in a pinch.
So what do you think here? This is actually an interesting decision.
I would take him. He goes ahead and takes Force. If I was a betting man, I would say that he has a 2-drop that he expects to get dazed and a Mirror Crusader in his hand.
Yep. So the daze there shows the reason why in the last game he was unwilling to play a turn 2-drop. We thought he might have had Spell Snare, but Sam Swisher, a lot of the old Team America lists played Daze. They kind of cut it out in most of the newer lists. But Sam still has them, which means that, playing your 2-drop on turn 2 is kind of a scary proposition, because if your Dark Confidant or Stoneforge Mystic runs into a Daze, that's not good. Now, it's a little different, though, because if you go turn 2 Dark Confidant, it gets Dazed, your opponent's on 0 lands when you're on the play, and then you can go turn 3 Mirror Crusader, and you're super far ahead.
Yeah, and the position Joe's in now is Joe knows his opponent has the days. Oh,
Cabal Therapy, nice.
Yeah, and that's pretty nice because he knows what's in Sam's hand. He's going to name him with this Cabal Therapy. Now, Sam can't taste this, so.
See.
Sam's thinking for a second.
Still thinking about what to name, huh? You think it's him?
What?
You think it's him?
Oh, yeah, I think you name him.
And that's what he gets.
Yep, he names him. And it's certainly the right play. It's definitely what I would do. Alright, Sam drew a Tombstalker. Joe has the Vindicate in hand, so he has an answer to this. I think Sam's kind of hoping that his opponent decides to go ahead and go on the Stone Rain plan. Ooh, Sam drew a Jace. Jace is really good in this matchup.
Jace is awesome. Now, obviously, he's going to need some more lands to get there, but I think he can, his deck wants to play a longer game. We can play that Jace.
Yep.
Just a matter of, especially Mirror Crusader, too. Like, that card is one of the best cards in the matchup, and Jace is Sam's best answer to a Mirror Crusader. Pernicious Deed is good, too, but yeah. Jace versus the Mirror Crusader just buys you so much time.
It's true. Alright, so
looks like Sam's sitting on a Tombstalker there that he picked up.
Now, this turn Joe's probably going to resolve a Dark Confidant through that daze.
And there's an Elspeth that he just drew. Very nice card. I think, does Joe have another land?
Oh, he does not.
Is that a Vindicate or Windswept Peak? I think it's a Vindicate. Yeah, it's a Vindicate. I don't think Joe has another land. So that top gets dazed. He's going to crack Marsh Flats in response. And pay 1 for it at the top, but won't be able to spin it this turn. And his upkeep next turn he'll probably spin it and try and find a land so he can cast 2-drop on curve now that the daze is gone. Let's see. So Sam Swisher's hand looks like 2 lands, a Tombstalker, another Jace he just drew. So is that double Jace now?
Maybe. Pass the turn back over.
Okay, so yep, he upkeep top sees Sword, Stoneforge Mystic, Mirror Crusader, but no land.
Oof.
Whew, he needed that land.
He really needed a land. I mean, it's because if Sam gets to stick a Jace before Joe gets to play a land, then that's really, really, really bad for Joe here.
I mean, it's not as bad for the Fate Sealing reasons, because fortunately top gets around Fate Sealing pretty nicely.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you start brainstorming, you pull so far ahead.
Oh, yeah. You're brainstorming every single turn, and then you also have, like, the answer you need for Mirror Crusader, too.
Yeah. Let's see, top. So there's a land.
All right,
Quickly
so
shuffle Scribble land to the front. And Sam Swisher gets a land, finds a Tropical Island. And what do you think we're going to see out of Sam Swisher here?
I don't know, maybe like a Confidant or something like that. Maybe Crossing Grip on the top. A Crossing Grip on the top would actually be pretty nice.
You could cast that Tombstalker. Yep.
Ooh, that seems really, really nice.
Yeah, I mean, 5-5 before Joe has anything going. Seems pretty swell for Sam Swisher. A lot of people have opted to cut their Tombstalkers. Jerry's crew cut them all. AJ Soccer cut them, but
I mean, it seemed pretty good.
Making good use. Sam Swisher is actually playing a much older list with Dazes in his deck.
Yeah, like it looks like he doesn't even have Confidant, but I think he's probably playing a playset of Jace's.
So
I'm not sure though.
Vindicate on the Tombstalker. So the Tombstalker goes away, passes back, but Joe once again doesn't really get anywhere on that turn.
Yep, and here comes Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Oh, it's rough for Joe Bernal.
This is really rough for Joe Bernal. So
starts
we're brainstorming, and he just used that Vindicate instead of using his swords there. So he doesn't have any sort of answer at all.
Yeah, that is especially a huge blowout because you can Vindicate Jace, and that makes you not feel quite as bad. Still kind of sucks, you brainstorm to tap, you spend your turn Vindicating, but at least you got a way to kill it. Right now, he doesn't have an answer. So he's going to look at his top 3 cards: Swords, Mirror Crusader, Batterskull. No help from top of his library.
Yep. All right, draw his first turn. So he's going to go ahead here and time to cast Stoneforge Mystic. Sam is going to daze this. He's the opportunity to get that daze out of his hand.
If it resolved, he'd be able to shuffle his deck, but it didn't.
Yep.
And now that Jace is going to continue running away with this game.
Yep. Wasteland that. Yep. Pretty good. Brainstorm. Tarmogoyf.
A lot of players asking about the mono blue deck in the other bracket. We'll let you know how if we hear about how that match goes if this one's finished.
Yeah.
Likely, it seems like we might be able to move on to the last game of the mono blue match, depending on how that's going.
Yeah. This.
Sam Swisher seems to have quite a dominant lead here.
Yeah.
Joe's gonna spend some time topping. Oh nope, just draws naturally. Was a Mirror Crusader, no help.
Yeah, he knew that one was a Mirror Crusader. So earlier we were talking about Gamekeeper. Sam Swisher, super duper old school player, a lover of Gamekeeper and somebody who played that deck for years. So.
Yeah, it's an interesting card, certainly a powerful one, but not so good in Legacy at this moment. So it looks like he tries to Swords Tarmogoyf, and Force of Will occurs from Sam Swisher.
Yep, and normally Force of Will you're like hurting on that card advantage, but when you have a Jason play,
not so much.
It's not a big deal at all.
Fine, I'll get rid of my 2 cards if I can attack you and kill you in 3 turns.
I'm just going to draw a billion next turn anyway. It's all right.
Yeah, exactly. Tarmogoyf serves in.
Instant land, creature, sorcery.
And pass it
That's
back.
turn back to Joe.
Pops again, Batter Skull, Vindicate. Finally finds a Marsh Flash.
Finds a Marsh Flats.
Of course, the question is, does he want that Vindicate to deal with Jace or Tarmogoyf? But I mean, what is Joe Bernal's plan at this point? He's really far behind. I think he has to kill that Jace. Maybe you just have to go crack top, draw Vindicate, kill Jace, and then find a way to kill Tarmogoyf or block it for a couple turns. I don't think if that Jace gets active for much longer, he has any shot. It's already bad enough.
Yeah, I mean, he has Mirror Crusader in his hand that answers to Tarmogoyf, so he really needs to. Ooh, I'm surprised. He didn't flip the top for to get the Vindicate before he got that land.
Yeah,
I would have liked that a lot more.
I mean, I guess he's going to play Mirror Crusader this turn. It's just it's hard to know like what his plan is if that Jace is active because there's no beating it.
Yeah.
And I think that you have to play as though he doesn't have another Jace in his hand, and if you kill it, he's not going to have many options. And whether that's true or not, I mean, if that's your only out, you have to play to it. All right, so Mirror Crusader, like it doesn't even matter. You just -1 bounce it, right, with the Jace.
He just,
I mean, because like the Jace
touches his Jace and he's just naturally drawing off the top. Crack that fetch land, Sam. Don't be crazy. You didn't draw. You can crack that fetch land. There you go.
So he's
Don't worry.
He's gonna crack the fetch land, shuffle away the cards on top, and then he's just gonna minus. I'm almost sure he's just gonna -1 the Jace, bounce that Mirror Crusader.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Serve in. It's yeah. I mean, running creatures into Jace is a difficult proposition. Especially.
I'm also kind of surprised that Sam.
I don't like that play.
Sam forced the swords. I think he just kind of like hold the force for.
I can see it both ways. I can kind of see the force on the sword just because Tarmogoyf kills in like 3 turns or whatever.
I guess that makes sense.
I mean, the question is like, what is Joe gonna do that you really want to?
Him you. Oh, I like this a lot.
What is Joe gonna do that you're going to force that isn't swords? Like, what card are you more threatened about? Like Vindicate on Jace?
Yeah, like it's something that's destroying Jace, or something that's destroying or a Mirror Crusader.
Or it's Double Dark Confidant. I mean, Jace is the answer to Mirror Crusader. I mean, I think I could see holding for something that kills your Jace. I think if you force the swords on the Tarmogoyf, if you're playing a tempo game, where you just want to close as fast as possible, and you don't want Joe to get back into the game at all. And whether or not that's correct, I mean, Sam Swisher thinks it is.
Yeah.
And Tarmogoyf is just a couple hits away from sending Joe Bernal to his semifinal exit here at the Star City Games Open Series in Louisville.
Yeah. I mean, this game is not over, though. This game is certainly not over.
See what Joe's
There's a lot that can happen.
There's swords for Tarmogoyf.
He swords the Tarmogoyf, then Sam's just going to start brainstorming again.
Yeah, you really need that Vindicate on that. Like, if last turn he just Vindicated the Jace instead of playing Mirror Crusader, he'd actually be in an okay position because he could kill the Jace and then
he just plays Mirror Crusader and has that for
and he still has swords.
Yeah. And he'll draw the swords, and then he'll have Mirror Crusader in play.
So he boarded in Shriekmaw, so it is in his deck.
Huh. Interesting.
Like it might actually be kind of okay, but I mean that dealing with Jace is the most important thing right now.
Yep.
Taps 1. Swords the Plowshares the Tarmogoyf.
Yep. And Sam will RFG that. He's going to gain
some life.
A whole bunch of life.
But Sam Swisher with that active Jace, only matter of time before he finds another Tarmogoyf, another Tombstalker, another way to close out this game.
Yeah, and I mean, Sam really wants to draw a counterspell card here because he wants something to deal with that Elspeth. Of course, he doesn't know that.
Right. I mean, a Force of Will, something like that would be strong. I think mostly right now, from Sam's perspective, he's just looking for a dude. Just give him a Tarmogoyf, give him a Tombstalker. Oh, Wasteland.
Boom.
Joe.
That's great. That's really good for Sam.
Yeah. Ouch. And there's another Tarmogoyf. Found what he's looking for.
Yeah. This looks really rough for Joe.
Yeah, pass back.
Joe and Sam are both really nice guys, friendly dudes. They're usually at the SCG Opens out here in the Midwest, battling. Normally at the top of the standings. I don't think either of them have broken in the top 8 yet, though, so this is pretty exciting for them.
And only one of them can make it through to the finals.
Yeah.
Joe,
and one of them may end up being the champion.
Indeed. Now Joe's going to probably draw Shriekmaw here and kill that Tarmogoyf. That just gives him another turn of Jacing, though. Ugh. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. So.
Cards are back on top. Pay 2.
Folk Shriekmaw.
Folk Shriekmaw, kill Tarmogoyf.
Alright.
Alright, he's like, alright, Shriekmaw,
There
you
goes
got me.
Tarmogoyf.
But more brainstorm is going to happen with that Jace.
Let's brainstorm. 2, 3. And that's Tombstalker.
5-5 is going to close out the game in short order if Joe doesn't have an answer to it.
Now he can remove a creature. He can remove an instant. He can remove a sorcery. He can. I think his opponent has everything anyway. So.
He just wants to make sure it doesn't accidentally shrink his Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
I just got to be careful with that one. Leave some daces in there. Passes the turn. Joe draws his 3rd land off the top.
Yeah, now he's fishing for swords to Plowshares, but it's not going to help.
Nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and
that's
it's over. Sam Swisher advances to the finals here.
Oh,
that's exciting.
We'll try and get you. So Sam Swisher playing Team America in the finals. We'll try and get you.